That water heater sitting in your closet or garage right now might be quietly cooking itself from the inside, and it could cost you a flooded floor and a full replacement if nobody steps in. The popping sound it sometimes makes isn't just annoying. That sound is the actual damage happening, and it's been raising your gas or power bill the entire time nobody's fixed it. Stick with me. I'll show you exactly what that sound means, and the 20-minute fix that stops it, for free. Here's why this is worth your time. A water heater tank has a limited lifespan, usually somewhere around 10 to 15 years. And the single biggest thing that shortens that lifespan is sitting at the bottom of your tank right now, and you've probably never looked. It's sediment. Minerals from your water supply that settle out and pile up at the bottom of the tank year after year because almost nobody ever drains it. If your water heater ever makes a popping or rumbling sound, that's not the unit just being old. That's water trapped under that sediment layer, heated past its normal range and forcing its way out, like a pot lid rattling on the stove. That trapped heat doesn't just make noise. It can push the bottom of your tank well past its normal operating temperature, hot enough to damage the protective lining inside. Once that lining fails, the bare steel underneath starts to rust. And a rusting tank doesn't fail quietly. It fails as a leak, sometimes a flood, in a closet or a garage or a basement, usually with zero warning until the day it happens. The fix costs nothing and takes about 20 minutes. Almost nobody does it. Let's fix that today. A tank water heater is about as simple as home appliances get. A steel tank, a heat source at the bottom, a layer of glass lining inside to protect the steel from the water. That's most of it. Whatever's dissolved in your water supply, mostly calcium and magnesium in hard water areas, doesn't stay dissolved forever once it's heated. It settles out as fine sediment, and gravity pulls it straight to the bottom of the tank, right where the heat is. That's actually why every tank water heater ships with a drain valve near the bottom. It's not an accessory. It's the manufacturer building in the exact tool meant to remove that sediment before it becomes a problem. Almost nobody ever uses it. It just sits there, closed, usually for the entire life of the water heater, doing nothing. Old-timers who grew up maintaining their own equipment usually flush things like this out of habit. The same way they'd change oil on a schedule, not wait for the engine to tell them. That habit mostly disappeared along with a lot of basic home maintenance knowledge. Most homeowners today have genuinely never touched that valve, don't know it's there, and assume a water heater is a set-it-and-forget-it appliance. It isn't. It just fails slowly enough that you don't notice until it's expensive. So let's go through exactly what's happening and exactly how to fix it. This is genuinely one of the simplest maintenance jobs in your whole house. Plumbing documentation on this is specific about the mechanism. Normal operating temperature at the bottom of a healthy tank sits around 120 to 140 degrees. In a neglected tank, sediment insulates that spot so well that the temperature there can climb to 180, 200 degrees or higher. That's hot enough that the glass lining protecting the steel can't handle it. It cracks under the localized heat. Once it cracks, bare steel is exposed directly to water, and steel exposed to water rusts. That's the actual chain of events between a noisy tank and a tank that eventually leaks. There's a second piece to it too. The bottom of the tank running that much hotter than the rest of it creates real thermal stress in the steel itself, similar to how rapidly heating or cooling glass can crack it. Sediment doesn't just insulate. It actively stresses the tank. That popping or rumbling sound is water trapped underneath the sediment layer, heated so far past normal that it stays liquid only because of pressure. When it finally forces its way through a crack in the sediment, it flashes to steam instantly. That's the pop. So if you've heard that sound and shrugged it off, that's genuinely the sound of your water heater damaging itself, one bubble at a time. Here's the actual fix, straight from a major water heater manufacturer's own maintenance guidance, not a guess. Most tank water heaters should be flushed at least once a year. In a hard water area, every 6 months isn't excessive. Start by turning the water heater off. Gas units, turn the dial to off. Electric units, kill the breaker. Then give it a few hours to cool. Skipping this step is how people get scalded. Next, shut off the cold water supply valve going into the tank and connect a garden hose to the drain valve near the bottom. Run the other end somewhere safe, a floor drain, or outside, away from anyone walking by. Open the drain valve and let it run. Opening a hot water tap somewhere in the house first helps it drain faster by letting air into the system. Water and sediment come out through the hose, and a full tank usually takes 20 to 40 minutes. Once it's empty, this is the step people skip. Turn the cold water supply back on in short bursts. That stirs up whatever sediment settled out of reach of a simple drain and flushes it out too. Keep going until the water runs clear. If nobody ever walked you through this before, that's exactly why this channel exists. Old, simple maintenance, explained plainly. Subscribe if you want the next one. Close the drain valve, disconnect the hose, and turn the water supply back on fully. Let the tank refill completely before turning the power or gas back on, or you risk damaging the heating element running dry. Last step, run a hot water tap in the house for a few minutes once it's back on. That clears trapped air out of the lines before you settle back into using it normally. Start to finish, this is a 20-minute job that costs nothing but a garden hose you probably already own. Compare that to a flooded closet and a water heater replacement, and it's not a close call. Let's cover what you're probably wondering. I've never flushed mine, and it's 10 years old. Is it too late? Not necessarily, but go slow the first time. A tank that's never been flushed can have heavy sediment, and opening the valve fully right away can clog it with debris. Open it partway first and see what comes out. What if the drain valve won't open, or it's clogged? That happens on tanks that have gone years without a flush. A shop vac on the drain valve can sometimes clear it. If it's genuinely stuck, that's worth calling a plumber rather than forcing it and risking a leak. Does any of this apply if I have a tankless water heater? No, and this is worth knowing. Tankless units don't hold standing water the same way, so they don't build sediment in a tank. They have their own separate maintenance, usually a descaling flush, which is a different job entirely. Does this work the same for electric and gas water heaters? The flush process itself is nearly identical. The only real difference is how you shut off the heat source beforehand. Breaker for electric, gas valve for gas. How much sediment is actually normal to see come out? Some cloudiness or a little grit is normal, especially the first time. Chunks of hard, rock-like buildup mean it's been too long, and you may want to repeat the flush a few days later once it's had time to settle again. Should I just pay a plumber to do this instead? You can, and there's nothing wrong with that if you're not comfortable doing it. But this is genuinely one of the more DIY-friendly maintenance jobs in a house, and paying for it every year adds up fast compared to a 20-minute job yourself. Let's talk about how this fits your specific situation. If you rent, this is usually the landlord's equipment and responsibility, but it's still worth asking when it was last serviced, especially if you've heard popping sounds. A flooded unit affects you too. If you're in a hard water region specifically, this matters more than average. Check your water utilities annual report. Most publish hardness numbers, and flush every 6 months rather than waiting a full year. If your water heater is already past 10 years old and has never been flushed, this is worth doing carefully rather than skipping out of fear. A slow first flush is still better than waiting for a failure. If you just had a new water heater installed, start this habit from day one. A tank flushed annually since day one can genuinely outlast its rated lifespan by years. If you've got a vacation home, or a water heater that sits unused for stretches, sediment settles just as much during idle time. Flush it as part of opening the place back up each season. If you're the one who handles home maintenance for your household, pair this with an existing seasonal habit. Changing furnace filters, checking smoke detectors. One less separate thing to remember. And if you've never done a maintenance job like this before, this is a genuinely good one to start with. Low risk, low cost, and it directly protects one of the most expensive appliances in your house. So here's what actually matters, if you remember nothing else. That popping sound isn't quirky. It's sediment trapping superheated water at the bottom of your tank, hot enough to damage the lining and eventually cause a leak. The fix is a 20-minute drain and flush through the valve already built into your water heater, at least once a year, more often with hard water. Go find your water heater today. Check for a drain valve, listen for that popping sound, and if it's been more than a year, put the flush on your calendar. That's the old way. Still works. It just needs 20 minutes nobody ever told you to give it. If you want more of these, the plain truth about the stuff already in your house, subscribe. And if this saved you a future flood, a like helps it reach the next person who needs to hear it too. Tell me in the comments. Have you ever heard that popping sound and had no idea what it actually meant? I want to know how common that is.